I'm Richard Spalding. I'm a geographer, a human geographer, working up the road at the University of West of England. And I'm particularly interested in something that I've christened the blue finger. So if you can see the map that I'm holding on within my cold fingers this afternoon, it says Bristol's blue finger, Bristol's brilliant soil. So some of the issues related to the past, the present and the future uses of this land are incredibly important, I think, and particularly in the year of Bristol being the green capital of Europe. And,
so the soil on this piece of land is very special. It's a mixture between grade 1 and grade 3.
What I did was to look at some historic maps, and those historic maps showed, I don't know if you can pick up on the camera, but the dark blue that's on the map here, and the dark blue is grade 1 agricultural land. And this is land that is identified as of the highest quality land in England and Wales. Okay, what we're going to do just for a few minutes now, I've been talking about the blue finger in Bristol that you can't really see on the map that the camera's looking at now. But what we've got here in front of us, hopefully you can see, is a map of England and Wales. And that map of England and Wales identifies the quality of agricultural land. So all of this information is from the government agricultural land classification system. If you actually look at the colours of the map, what this very clearly shows is the high quality agricultural land in dark blue. So for example, where I'm pointing here, you can see the land in and around South Lincolnshire, North Norfolk, around the Wash. And much of that land is either grade 1 or grade 2 agricultural land. So right at the top of the hierarchy of agricultural land in terms of its classification of quality. So I think that's an important point to make. What's kind of interesting is that if you look at the area that I'm pointing at now, much of this area of the fens and the Wash is either just above sea level or actually already below sea level, and it's protected by systems of dikes on the coast. So what we have here is, I think, an opportunity to think forward a generation or two and think about how this land is potentially going to become more flooded. If we lose this land in the Wash area, then it makes even more important all of the other little bits and pieces of high quality land scattered all over the country. And one of those pieces of land is where the stick is. Can't see it at this magnification, the blue finger.
But it's a very, very long time, I think, that this land has been kind of commons or people's land, and the land for people, the common people, to grow food on and maybe graze animals and to use for that type of activity. This land is our land. I believe that we have the rights to grow food on this land and to use it for food growing activities, and that in part is being taken away. So the Secretary of State was approached by the applicants for this development, South Gloucestershire Council and Bristol City Council working together to dispose of the protection that the allotments. I mean, the allotments over there have fantastic soil. Some of them have been growing food there for, in the same plot for over 30 years. And they're now being evicted from that, from those allotment plots, and being put onto what is currently kind of inferior soil in another area. There was also some real issues around what one councillor who was actually on the committee has talked about bullying. Councillors felt bullied in the way they were told that they had to vote yes. If they didn't vote yes, they were going to put in jeopardy future funding possibilities for Bristol in other areas. I think we've been very much backed into a corner. Or backed into a tree for some people, because we have decided that we are willing to stand up to protect this piece of land. That includes the soil, it includes the wildlife habitat, and it includes the trees. So the real threat is this Metrobus bus-only road, which is part of a larger citywide scheme. This route in particular, the North Fringe to Hengrove package, goes from Hengrove to the North Fringe of Bristol.
This map shows a finger of land sticking out of the North Bristol fringe, and that finger of land comes to what looks like quite an abrupt end between the border of South Gloucestershire Council, where my hand is, and Bristol City Council to the south. So Bristol City Council has some Grade 1 agricultural land. What this map doesn't show is some Grade 2 agricultural land that stretches down for the next 3/4 of a mile down to the junction between Frenchay Park Road and the road up to the University of the West of England, where I work. So I'm currently trying to get some data which is post 1988 to give us a definitive version of the quality of this land. Having said that, I do know that this stretch of land was actively used as a market garden landscape for 150 years, and that begun to come to an end in the last 20 years when we saw the global food economy really asserting itself for the first time. So it suddenly didn't become economic to grow food here. It became more economic to actually grow houses here. So growing houses here is more profitable than growing lettuces or parsnips or leeks. So that's some of the context of this land. Hugely important little strip of several hundred acres stretching over about 9 kilometres out of the city of Bristol, mainly in South Gloucestershire, a little bit in Bristol. So where we're standing today is the focus of the protest, to look to see what is threatened for the trees that surround us. But I think as important is to look at what lies under our feet, and that is the quality of the agricultural land.
We are not willing to just let this happen, and we really, really want to tell this story as well. So part of the reason we are here is to spread awareness of the big issues.
What this map allows you to do is to access your parliamentary constituency and do some clicks and actually find out how much of what particular grade of agricultural land is actually lying under your constituency. Might be useful for your MP to know that if they don't already know.